Good morning. My name is Maureen Chung. Welcome to Daily Devotional of December 31st. The passage is Song of Songs, chapter 8, verse 8 to 14, and the title is Love Never Dies. Friends, we have a little sister, and her breasts are not yet grown. What shall we do for our sister on the day she is spoken for? If she is a wall, we will build towers of silver on her. If she is a door, we will enclose her with panels of cedar. She says, I'm a wall, and my breasts are like towers. Thus I have become in his eyes like one bringing contentment. Solomon had a vineyard in Baal Hamon. He let out his vineyards to tenants. Each was to bring for its fruit 1,000 shekels of silver. But my own vineyard is mine to give. The 1,000 shekels are for you, Solomon, and 200 are for those who tend its fruit. He says, You who dwell in the gardens with friends in attendance, let me hear your voice. She says, Come away, my beloved, and be like a gazelle, or like a young stag on the spice-laden mountains. Towards the end of Song of Songs, from chapter 8, verse 8 to 9, the friends who speak seem to differ from the friends in other poems. In chapter 1, verse 4, friends might be the maidens of chapter 1, verse 3, who are also in love with the shepherd, the character of the lover. The friends in chapter 1, verse 8 seem to be the daughters of Jerusalem from chapter 1, verse 5, who wisely advised the beloved to follow the tracks of the sheep to find her shepherd lover. Together with the friends of chapter 5, verse 1 and 5, verse 9, they might very well be the supporting group of maidens and daughters of Jerusalem who root for the couple's reunion. They willingly look for the missing shepherd lover until he is found. They seem to join the wedding banquet and watch the couple's wedding dance, chapter 6, verse 13. They act as narrators when watching the couple's reemergence from the desert, leaning lovingly on each other, 8, verse 5. They seem like bridesmaids who wish the couple's marital happiness. However, in here, the friends are more likely to be the beloved's brothers who protect her until she is betrothed. The imageries in verse 9 allude to their wish to enhance her beauty so that the lover will value her more. This is what Middle Eastern men do for their young sisters. Families are close-knit. From verse 10, if the beloved was thought to be a young sister to be protected, she would disagree. She sees herself as mature enough to be married to her lover and to bring him marital enjoyment. Solomon, as her lover, is the Lord of abundance, Baal Hamon. He owns vineyards that can produce rental income in fruit worth 1,000 shekels of silver, which is equivalent to 25 pounds or 11.5 kilograms. But the beloved owns her body like a vineyard too, and can dispense her wealth of attraction at will. However, the beloved owner willingly turns herself into a tenant, as if the lover was the owner, and that results in her paying rent to him at 1,000 shekels of silver. That leaves her 200 shekels to pay to her farmers employed. What is the meaning of this beloved owner becoming a tenant? Why would she cede ownership to her lover? This is the mystery of spousal love. In marriage, we vow to belong to each other as if the spouse has total ownership. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4, the wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife. In marriage, the owner becomes a tenant. This is the mystery of becoming one flesh. Sexual relationship is not merely physical, like shaking hands. It is an emotional, psychological, and spiritual union. It is the merging of two persons into one. If the human body is one of the most unique possessions we have, and we can cede ownership to the spouse we love, what about lesser things like material wealth? In these modern times, rich people enter into prenuptial agreements before they marry. Each side lays out what cannot be shared in case of future divorce. In other words, what I own before we get married is mine alone, and vice versa. What can be divided in case of a divorce down the road is what is earned after marriage. So couples carefully or cunningly hide wealth from each other. This kind of marriage is doomed to fail. Mutual trust is never in the equation. Genuine spousal love ceases private ownership. Christ gave himself to the church completely. He didn't count the cost. We will share in his heavenly inheritance as promised. His is the agape, sacrificial love. How do the lovers respond to this self-giving love? Deep calls to deep. Love gains in strength and intensity. They seek out each other in the metaphoric gardens where the gazelle or young stag displays his passion on the spice-laden mountains, echoing chapter 2, verse 8 to 9. Consummation of marriage is in a blissful union under the blessing of the Holy Spirit. The union maker is an awesome thing. Earthly marriage of a loving couple is only a semblance of the spiritual union of Christ followers with Christ in the eternal realm. Joy will be fulfilled when we meet face to face. With this, I close off the Daily Devotional with Maureen Chung, a 366-part series that span the Gospels of Jesus Christ, Acts of the Apostles, the 5 books of Moses from Genesis to Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, the wisdom literature from Job to Song of Songs. It has been a pleasurable but demanding ride for me. I must thank my God, the Father, Jesus Christ, the Son, and the ever-faithful Holy Spirit, my Comforter. The Trinity is one God in 3 persons, worthy to be worshipped for eternity. I must thank Maria Ma, my director, who is a genius and a professional, but most of all, a fellow pilgrim on Christ's path to our common home. I must thank Cecilia Ng, my supportive image and health consultant. She is my prayer partner and fellow follower of Jesus Christ. Finally, I must thank the late Vivian Young, the composer and musician who provided the musical theme of this series. She was my high school friend, a faithful Christian who passed into glory in March. What shall I do next if God permits? I plan to publish a book of 366 daily devotionals based on this series, or shall I say 2 books in English and Chinese. Hopefully, it shall be in digital format and in print, free of charge as my gift to God's family. Furthermore, in 2024, if God wills, I hope to produce 12 mini-series of 10 episodes each, 1 for each month, based on characters from the Bible and special themes pertinent to human struggles. All I have belongs to God alone. His will is my highest priority. May God be praised. A few curious people have asked me about the figures on the side table. Let me show them to you. First, this is the Ark of the Covenant, which holds the tablet of the 10 Commandments, the pot of manna that does not spoil, and Aaron's staff that budded. The top of the ark is the mercy seat, or a representation of the throne of God, adorned by 2 cherubim. Second, this is the prodigal son, returning home to the father who let him go with his inheritance. Luke chapter 15, verse 11 to 32 tells the story. Third, this is the full armor of God as described in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 to 17. Curiosity satisfied. Now, thank you for joining me, and may God bless you all. You can still see me tomorrow if you go back to the daily devotional of January the 1st and redo the whole year. God's love be with you all forever. Happy New Year. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you.